It's time now for the fifth down with Jeff Schaefer and Travis Kozak.
Welcome to our Week 4 edition of the Fifth Down. I'm Travis Kozak.
And I'm Jeff Schaefer. Last year, the squads from Whittemore and Tawas were the cream of the crop in the Huron Shores Conference.
That's right, and while the Cardinals are still the team to beat, the boys from Alcona are hoping to make some noise. The Tigers opening Huron Shores play tonight with a matchup against Tawas, and they were roaring early. Less than 2 minutes in, Cody Franklin on the quarterback keeper. He fakes out everyone, including the camera guy, and takes off down the sideline. Tigers have the 2-point conversion, and that score makes it 8-zip Alcona. Now in the second quarter, Tawas trying to even things up. Dan Hale gets the corner and takes it in for 6. Or does he? The Braves TD would come back on a Tawas penalty. And in the second half, it was all Tigers. Nathan Fettis slams through the middle and breaks away from everyone. Tigers go up 16-0. 6 minutes later, the Tigers at it again. This time they're going to the aerial attack. Nathan Franklin finds Garrett Norling, who punches it in, and the Tigers lead extends to 22. Alcona would find Pater 2 more times in this one, and the Tigers open league play with the win, 36-0.
Big Huron Shores win for Alcona. Now here in Alpena, the Wildcats facing a Traverse City squad for the second straight week, hosting TC West, but the Titans already up big in the third when Noah Molaski adds to the lead, takes a handoff and finds Pater practically untouched on that one. The Wildcats, though, get a little positive mode going in the fourth. Brady Marweed hooks up with Caleb Smith for a nice gain, and the drive continued through the air as Marweed rolls right, then finds Tim Atkinson at the sideline, so Alpena moving right along. But later, Marweed drops back to pass again. This time he's looking deep, airs it out, trying to find Jacob Klein, but he's picked off. It was just that kind of night for the Wildcats. The Titans win this one big, 42-0 over Alpena.
Now we've got plenty more Week 4 scores to update you on. Mayo got off the schneid with a 38-30 win over Augrey Sims. That's the first win of the year for the Thunderbolts. In the other half of the Huron Shores, Whittemore Prescott blanking Oscoda. QB Jens Gillings powered the Cardinal attack, throwing 4 touchdown passes, and just for good measure, adding 1 on the ground.
Johannesburg Lewiston got back on track with a big win over Forest Area. Dylan Kibbe paced the Cards with 4 touchdowns for Joburg. Since suffering a tough 2-point loss to Joburg in Week 1, the boys from Atlanta have been on quite a roll.
That's right. Last week, the Huskies took down defending league champion Mayo, and tonight, Atlanta trying to run their win streak to 3, hosting league foe Hale. The Huskies starting things off quickly, recovering the pooch kick on the opening kickoff. That gives them great field position, but it would be the Eagles standing tall on defense. Garrett Badgero tries to find Jake Chambers on 4th down, but Kyle Riley is all over him like white on rice. The Huskies turn it over on downs, but just before the end of the first quarter, the Badgero to Chambers connection is back in action. Chambers shows he's got hands and man strength, muscling in for 6. Atlanta goes on top 8-0. Ensuing Hale drive, the Eagles getting things done on the ground. Dan Catterman lifts weights too. He drags some Huskies and then finds Pater. They fail on the 2-point conversion, so Atlanta remains on top 8-6. Then later in the second quarter, the Huskies D makes up for it. They deny the Eagles their 4th down try. And then what's turning into the Huskies' dynamic duo strikes again. Badgero and Chambers part dos. That puts Atlanta up 14-6, and it was all Huskies the rest of the way, routing Hale 48-12.
Hard to keep that Atlanta offense in check for an entire game.
That's for sure. Now we're going to Hillman, and it was a rough night for the Tigers. We picked this one up in the third quarter. Marlette driving again. Brad Schaub finds Ian Reagan, but he coughs it up, and the Tigers pounce on it. Ensuing Tigers drive, things looking good for them. Tyler Jones showing off the arm strength. He slings it to Dylan Ross, and the Tigers are in business. So the Red Raiders defense bending, but not breaking. Reagan is hungry. How's about a sack lunch? Yum! Tigers forced to punt, and then Marlette wasting no time on offense. Nate Stroud finds the hole, breaks a few tackles, and he's off. That guy is fast, but not fast enough. He gets drugged down at the Hillman 9-yard line, and his signal caller, Schaub, would take it from there. He sneaks into the end zone, even throws in a little Tebow here at the end for the fans. A rough night in Hillman as the Tigers can't find the end zone. They go down 39-0.
Now up in Rogers City, the Hurons looking for their first win of the season, hosting Pickford. The teams traded scores early, but then RC strikes again as Evan Lamb takes the delayed handoff and tumbles into the end zone for 6. That makes it 13-6 RC. Then the Huron defense steps up. Clay Nadolski wraps up Jared Levine in the backfield for a loss. A little bit later, the Hurons make an even bigger play on D as they force a fumble, bounces right to Jacob Malocha. He takes it all the way back for another 6, so Rogers City extends that lead to 19-6 over Pickford. But the Panthers then got their offense going. They go to the air as Jared Hatfield finds Levine along the far side for a nice gain. And then we'll jump ahead to early in the second quarter. Panthers driving, and Elijah May gets the handoff. Our camera eventually catches up to him, but the Hurons did not. The score makes it 19-12, and that was just the beginning for Pickford. RC can't keep its early lead. Panthers win it 48-25. So been a tough start for the Hurons early this season, but those kids out in Atlanta, I mean, you got to see them tonight. They've been, one of the better teams in our area this year.
That's right. They started off a little slow, but once Badrew and Chambers got going, I don't think anyone can stop them.
Yeah, that's the thing about that spread offense. It doesn't take too long for them to rack up those points.